everybody, and welcome. It is Tight 10 with Dave Dyer. I am your host. This is my my podcast where I have people on that I find interesting. Hopefully you find interesting, and we go through 10 questions, and you get to know them nice and quick. We got something different today. We are doing what is called a roundtable. There is a text group that I'm sure many comedians have that I belong to, of some other comedians from the Grand Rapids, Michigan area. They are Nardos Osterhart. They are Matt Lauria, Allen Trieu. We also have Adam Degi, who technologically can't quite figure out how to be on today, and we're hoping he's going to join at some point during the podcast. But we're going to do a little roundtable. I want to do one of these every 2 or 3 months so you guys get to know these people, get our perspective on the comedy scene, whatever's going on in our lives. Today's going to be more comedy-centric. But again, we got Nardos Osterhart. Say hi, Nardos.
Hi, everybody.
And we got Matt Lauria. Matty.
What is up, guys?
And then we have Allen Trieu.
Hey.
All right, so 10 questions. The first question, kind of a softball, kind of not a softball. I always like to go with the first question of a this or that. So here it is: Bill Burr or Dave Chappelle? Matty, you go first.
I'm going Bill Burr. I think Bill Burr makes specials, and sometimes, honestly, of late, Dave Chappelle puts out content that doesn't feel like it's been baked in an oven for the correct temp and correct time. It feels like it's just, okay, I got some things in my mind, let's make a special, versus Burr, I feel like, honestly, is compacting something that's built over 10 months, shooting it and putting it out the product. So love them both, but right now, Burr.
Okay, Burr. Nardos?
Dave Chappelle. I love them both, but I have to say Chappelle because I just love his whole journey. I love how young he was when he started. I love just, like that defining point in his career, and just like even in his own personal identity when he left Comedy Central and like kind of turned down that quote unquote $50 million offer. And then I love his resurgence. Like we thought we'd never see him again. We thought, he'd lost his mind, all those things. And when he came back, he really came back strong. So I agree that lately we've been probably getting like some rushed to, kind of like ready specials. But every time I hear him talk, I just always feel like I learned something new, but he's also really funny. And I love how unapologetic he is because he just doesn't care.
Yep. Alan?
Going Burr as well. I mean, I think he's consistently put out really, really strong stuff. I'm hugely influenced by Dave. I would say, like, if you're around our age, like, Chappelle's show was huge, Killing Them Softly, The Block Party, all that. I still listen to The Block Party on a daily basis. I did feel like there were some Dave takes recently, to Nardos' point, that were unapologetic, but I also felt were a little bit out of touch, or like a little bit tone deaf, where the Chappelle fan in me was listening to them going, oh man, come on, Dave.
Yeah.
So not that makes me not a fan of his, but it definitely nudges Burr ahead of him in my book.
Yep. I'm gonna go cheaply, middle of the road on this one. I enjoyed Burr's last special more than I've enjoyed a lot of his recent specials, and I think because it was more of a glimpse into where he is in life. He and I are very similar age. Ironically, a lot of similar interests: motorcycles, drums, all kinds of stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that he talks about in his last special that were very much along my line of thinking. Chappelle, though, regardless of whether the content is controversial or whatever he's doing, there's something about the way that guy talks and presents where you can't not watch him and listen.
Yeah, he's the fucking coolest comedian we have.
The way he carries himself, the way he tells a story, you're like, I can't not watch it. It's just, there's something, and there's just a magnetism to him that just, so I love both of them, and for those various reasons. Again, content-wise, I'm more in the Burr thing, but Chappelle is on, and I can't stop watching him. So,
Agreed.
There you go. All right, question number 2. I'm always curious about this with comedians. Open mic nights. Do you find them valuable, and personally, how do you use them to help yourself? Alan, go first.
I do find them valuable. I think it definitely depends on the mic, and then how you approach each open mic based on what you know it's going to be. there's some open mics that I know, like there's nothing that I can do here to where this set's probably going to be well received. So it's just about getting stuff out there, getting new things out of my mouth, and getting practice in just saying those things. Because I think we all, if you do the road or you do comedy for long enough, you can get very in a rut of where you become robotic. And I certainly can fall into that of like getting comfortable with the same set and even the same way you tell those jokes over and over again. So experimenting with new tags, new wording in your old jokes, and just getting new jokes that I've written out of my mouth in a setting where I don't feel the pressure to have to like close this thing down and do super, super well. I think that's the most valuable thing for me about open mics, is taking the pressure off of feeling like I have to do really, really well, and getting used to just sort of handling what I know is going to be an audience that sometimes there's not really an audience, which that's practice in itself. And sometimes it's an audience that doesn't really care that you're up there, which is, I think, good practice no matter what joke it is you're telling.
Yep. Nardos, how about you?
They're so valuable. And I think that probably, maybe I would say you can get into a space where once you're doing consistent kind of paid road work, you can see open mics as, I don't need them. I'll just throw these new things like kind of in the middle or towards the end. But honestly, I've come to like newly appreciate them again, because to Allen's point, you really do get to go up there and try something brand new conceptually. You haven't shared it with anybody. It's maybe in your notebook. You're going to flub, but you're going to learn kind of how to like maybe restate it, or you're going to try to find the funny. So I think it's valuable for just the essence of practice, right? Like whatever your passion is, whatever your sport is, whatever it is that you're pursuing, you've got to practice that somewhere. And I think there's so much value in that. And also just meeting other people and seeing what other people are talking about and understanding whether or not, especially as I get older, is my stuff still going to land with whoever's out here? Like, am I kind of losing sight of what people out there are also thinking about?
Yeah. Maddie?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great pulse. I used to kind of, once I started to work regularly, I used to kind of hate them because I felt like I had to go, and then I felt like I had to show and prove as well. And a lot of them, too, I could fall back consistently into just doing proven, tested material because I just wanted to kill. And, you get in front of a lot of new comics that maybe I've not met or something, and they do well, and you're like, oh, fuck you, I'm going to do some stuff that works here. So, and I would consistently do that, and then what I found is I'm wasting my time. And then number two, it's like, okay, your first goal was to try something new and do things. So I kind of stayed away from them for a while. And then post-pandemic, I was so excited to get back on stage with new premises and new things that I really, in the last 2 years, have valued them more highly than I ever thought I would. And again, too, to Nardos's point, it keeps me, it's a gym of sorts. It keeps me somehow, I don't know, like balanced. It keeps me making sure that I'm showing and proving, but also my sea legs are still about me because I'm either performing for people that don't want to hear comedy or a good audience that does, or a bunch of blue-collar people that maybe are not used to it. So
yeah. I personally, here's what I get out of it. I get out of it the camaraderie thing. I get out of it meeting some of the younger comics, seeing a little bit about what they're doing. I'll be honest with you, from a content standpoint, I rarely get much out of it. And the reason being is that you know generally the reactions are going to be kind of mediocre. Yeah, you might get a little laugh here and there, but for me, I'm quite a bit older than you guys, and when I started out, there was one open mic night, and it was in Lansing, Michigan. So we just didn't have them. So I came up in an era where you had to really kind of self-edit and self-teach yourself things to where you kind of got good at editing material, and the way you worked it out was you sandwiched it between two bits you knew worked when you were on stage. I mean, there really wasn't the availability. So I do get a little bit out of it from content. Like I said, you get a laugh. You're like, okay, maybe there's something there. But I really, when I go to these things, the biggest thing I get out of it is seeing some of the younger comics and just kind of commiserating a little bit. So
that's one of the things too, is like now there's so many open mics, and that's why I always get pissed at new comics when they're not getting better and such, because it's like, hey, we had one available. What the fuck's your excuse? You got plenty of stages to get up on and try and get better at. So what's your excuse? Like,
yep. All right, next question.
People also go to the gym every day and don't get in shape, Matt. So
yeah, they do the same 4 machines.
They're still using 10-pound dumbbells for 5 years. All right, here we go. What's the farthest you've traveled for the least amount of money? Nardos.
Well, I don't know if festivals count, but the furthest was San Francisco, and I bombed probably 3 out of 5 nights, so it was painful. It cost me emotionally, ego, and financially.
Yeah. Maddie?
Lakeland, Florida, $150. It was in March, and I timed it right because the Tigers were playing spring training down there, and they give you a free hotel room. And the beauty is the bar that was having the show, it was the final, or March Madness going on, and the bar is apparently a Syracuse bar, and Syracuse beat Michigan State 2 days before, so they canceled the show because they wanted to watch the thing. So they still paid me. They gave me a $50 bar tab, and I got to go watch basketball at the venue. So
nice. There you go. Alan?
Yeah, like Nardos, San Francisco International Comedy Festival paid for the flight, 5 nights, I think, maybe one of the nights they put us up at a casino, but the rest of them all out of pocket. Rental car, drove all around. They call it San Francisco, but it's really the Northern California Comedy Festival, and spent 5 days doing that and made 0 money. So, if you add up that cost, very much in the hole. That amount of money, I could have downloaded Google Chrome 1,000.
There you go. Yeah. Mine was Duluth, Minnesota for $200, 10-hour drive. I had 2 gigs set up in Wisconsin the 2 nights before, so it was going to be moderately worth it financially for me to go over there. However, I don't remember what happened, but within the week prior to leaving, both of the Wisconsin dates canceled or fell out, so I had Duluth sitting by itself. Duluth was booked by Funny Business. I was still trying to impress people over there, so I'm like, I can't cancel this. So I drove 10 goddamn hours to Duluth, Minnesota in like minus 10-degree weather for $200 and drove 10 hours home. That's the farthest I've gone.
Dave, I did that. It's the Dublin pub, right?
It's a fun gig.
Minnesota, yeah. So by the time I did it, those Wisconsin gigs may have not existed. So the run was the night before we did this little. It was a cool little place too in West Lafayette, Indiana. So I got the 2 things. Like, you want to do this run, and I looked at where they were. I go, is this a run? I'm going starting in Grand Rapids, going 4 hours south, and then another 14 hours back to the north.
It's amazing how these boogers can spin runs.
Yeah. There's nothing in between there. There's a lot of real estate between West Lafayette, Indiana, and Duluth, Minnesota.
You're darn right, man. All right, here we go. Next question. You're flipping channels, and the movies Brokeback Mountain, The Dark Knight Rises, and Kill Bill Volumes 1 or 2 are on. Which one of those do you watch and why? Alan, go.
I'm going to be a racial stereotype, but Kill Bill 1 and 2, a lot of tribute to a lot of, wushu Shaw Brothers movies that I watched growing up, and I love how much of those hidden Easter eggs are woven through those. So that's the one I'm landing on.
Okay, Nardos.
Ooh, I think Kill Bill. I'm a Tarantino fan. I mean, I really like Christopher Nolan films too, and his version of Batman was great. But I think in the end, I love Uma Thurman too, in that whole 1 and 2. So yeah. Yep.
Maddie?
I'm going Tarantino as well. I'm falling in with the sheep. Tarantino, just from a violence standpoint, too. From a violence standpoint, and RZA also helped with the soundtrack there. So,
nice.
We have off-air Adam.
4 questions in.
There you go. All right, Adam, real quick. You're the last one who's got to. Well, I have to respond to this too, but okay. You're flipping channels. Brokeback Mountain, The Dark Knight Rises, and Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2 are on. Which one of those 3 do you watch?
Kill Bill.
Do you have sound,
Adam? Okay, there you go. Then that we're all going to be. I'm going to say Kill Bill too. First of all, I put Brokeback Mountain in there for Adam because
I've never actually watched it.
But here's the thing about that movie. Well, you don't have to. Here's why. Once you get past the whole thing that it's about 2 gay cowboys and stuff like that, it's a pretty basic, shitty romance. It's not that great a movie. once you get past, there's nothing like crazy about it. It's two guys who like each other and they're trying to hide it from people. Okay, once you're past that. Now, I'm going to pick Kill Bill for the same reasons. I love Tarantino. I just love the way he puts movies together. They're engaging. I picked The Dark Knight Rises because I think of the 3 Nolan Batman movies, that is by far the worst, because the whole voice that they picked for Tom Hardy or whatever he picked it was just immediately sounded like somebody reading a shitty children's book, and I couldn't stand it. Anyway, okay, so we're all Kill Bill.
I mean, and you also too. Those are all 3 of those are incredible film cinema. So like to be third in that one is like a top movie in anyone else's category.
Yep, there you go. Thank you, Maddie. All right.
I've also never seen Brokeback Mountain, by the way, and I now want to watch it with Adam. And
let's do it.
Video to us
it's. I'm serious. I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just it's not that good. It's the topic that was got so much attention. But when you watch the movie, you kind of go, it's just.
Alan and I will watch it
anyway.
And if we think it's better than Batman, we'll fuck.
Gig. All right, there you go.
Alan, you got a cosign.
What is it? Adam-Degi.com. There you go. All right. You get a gig, and you're supposed to headline, but the booking gets messed up, and you arrive, and you're featuring, even though you know you're stronger than the headliner. However, the money is the same. Do you speak up and say something, or you just go, screw it, I'll just do my gig and bury this person and make my money and leave? Maddie, go first.
Feature all fucking day. I can play the hits. I can crush. I can be off stage in 25 minutes. Absolutely do anything I want. All my content is first before the headliner too. And if it's a gig I drove to and I don't like the headliner, I'm getting my money and I'm leaving during his set or her set.
Nardos?
I mean, I would question it once, and if they still want it that way, so be it, and for the same reasons that Matt just brought up. But I think you're asking this because we've all had this experience at least once, and you're just sitting there going, are you sure? Like, you just want to check in with the person who's promoting or booking the show, and if they're good with it, then let's go.
Yep.
I've done this several times, and I didn't know that I was making...
I can't tell if you're thinking or stroking.
I'm doing
out.
both. There's an incredible delay. So
okay.
But I've done this for.
Are you on dial-up?
He's got.
Dude, I never use my laptop, so when I do use it, it's got to update. It sucks. But I would just do it, and I've done it.
That's fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, answer
I would just do the I would just do the show, even if I knew I should close.
Alan?
Who cares? Yeah, I would do it. I don't have any pride.
All right, Alan. All right, we're on a schedule. First of all, you were late, and Alan's got somewhere he's got to be. Alan, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna Kill Bill this and just go with the rest of the crowd. There's no question. I'm just featured.
Yeah.
I may not even bring it up. Just.
Yep.
And
not only am I featuring, I'm also telling the headliner, "Hey, I gotta ditch it after my act. I'm gonna leave." So
yeah, I'm sorry. Even though I was originally supposed to be headlining, I'm now found something that I have to do earlier, and so I'm gonna leave.
Yep. Perfect. Yep. Okay. This is I love this next question because I think all of us. I want you to be as brutally honest about this as you can. Does your significant? Where is he going?
He can hear us, I'm sure.
He's on such a delay. Christ. You know, his name on here kind of makes sense for the delay and the quality of production. God.
All right. Hi, buddy. My dog's here. Does your significant other find you funny? And if so, is it a kind of pity funny where they're because you're their significant other, or do they truly, genuinely find you funny? Alan, go ahead. I'm assuming are you still dating the same gal I met?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so I relatively new relationship, so I was like well into comedy by the time we met, And she had said when we met, she's like, I'm not into stand-up comedy at all. In fact, I went to a stand-up show and I hated it. And she told me who it was. I wish I could remember the name because I would definitely air it out, but I forgot who it was. But I looked the person up and I was like, well, that's clearly the reason that on stand-up comedy. So I've watched her reaction to me, and I have seen her laugh at my jokes. So I'll consider that a win. I do think she thinks I'm funny.
Where did he go?
His significant other didn't find this podcast funny, so she shut it down.
No, I guess not. All right, Maddie, go ahead. Does your significant other find you funny?
Yes. I think she finds me funny off stage. I don't know if, honestly, she thinks as a stand-up I'm funny. I think that she finds those things, like, entertaining, per se. But I think that she finds me more funny off stage than actually physically with a microphone and a stool at that point. Yeah. So I think that, and part of it, too, I think that, I don't know, maybe anyone else has this, but I think they kind of think, like, I could do that shit too. And you're like, go do it. Go do it. So that's how I lie. Like, when I get some feedback a lot of time, it'll be like, the way that you kind of told that one tonight was a little bit, and I go, okay, we're not doing this. We're not asking for input here right now. So, otherwise, 9 p.m. at River City Saloon, you can get up anytime you want. So,
give it a whirl. Nardos?
Yes. My husband thinks I'm funny, but also he's, to me, very funny. And so I think there are times when he'll listen to me and have opinions like Matt just said. But yeah, he does think I'm funny because I've seen him kind of watch me and he's laughed. So
yeah. My wife, ironically, I think finds me funnier on stage because like the day-to-day interactions after 33 years of marriage just don't really hold the same weight they used to. I joke about it, but I'm not kidding you. When I run a concept or an idea, a comedy idea past Janice, if she goes, I know it'll kill with most people. I know that's an indicator that most people will enjoy it. And I'm like, all right, well, that one's going in the act. I'll try that one. But I do know that, like, when she comes to the shows and stuff like that, and my wife, I'll tell you, after seeing comedy for so long, she's a very good judge of stand-up. Even though she doesn't go ahead and try to say funny stuff all the time herself, she's a very good a very good judge of what's funny and what's not. And if she says something was awful, it was really awful. Because she's usually very kind in her critiques of things.
That's one of our beautiful things in our group chat is when they're like, hey, how's such and such comedian? And the worst possible thing you can say is that they're nice and very confident. And
confident, so nice.
Whenever you're significant other, my
Nardos coined that. Nardos coined that. I can't remember who we were talking about, and it doesn't matter who we were talking about, but I think that was a Nardos comment. She said
it was the same person that Britt saw on stage. That's why.
I would love to know what Janice thinks of each of our acts because
she loves all of you guys. I will say there's a couple local people she's not big fans of, but she's very even in saying she's not big fans of them, she's very nice about it. But she's big fans of everybody here. Anyway, okay.
We're on. I'll guess who that is in our group chat.
We'll talk about it later. Yep. Okay. Have you ever been bombing and done somebody else's bit to try to get out of it? Nardos?
No.
Allen?
I think that I may have done, like, the only thing that I would have done is reference a comic before me.
Okay.
So-and-so's bit works. So now I'm going to call back something like that. I don't think I've straight up done someone else's bit.
Okay. Maddie?
Yes, I have. Like 8 months in, I think, to comedy, maybe a year. It was performing at a fraternity across the state. Brought another comic and just was eating it so hard. So amazing comedian that moved to LA, Trevor Smith. I did a Trevor Smith joke 9 months in and all this. And the best part is that the next week we had an open mic at the comedy club that was in Kalamazoo at Western Michigan where we went. He told the bit that I stole on stage at the open mic. And then the comedian I brought went up to him and was like, you stole Matt Lauria's bit. And I was like,
Nice.
no, I stole it. I was bombing. I needed to do it. And the best part is the joke I did of his didn't even get me any better. So I just stole just to bomb even harder. So
yeah. That's beautiful. Here's now I have never done it myself, but here's the reason why I asked it. This was years ago. I remember listening, Todd Glass, I don't know if he still has a podcast, but he used to have a podcast, and he was interviewing Brian Regan. And he said, I got to tell you, he goes, I was doing a private gig one time, and it was going so poorly, I switched over, and I did a half hour of your act. and he said, it destroyed. And Brian Regan thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. He loved it. So...
There's a great I Need You to Kill, the documentary with Pete Lee, Tom Segura, and Chad Daniels. Okay. They're going overseas and they're performing in Asia. At one point, the last show, Tom Segura does all of Chad Daniels' opening like 15 minutes and then does all of Pete Lee's opening 15 minutes. And then they just got to fucking go up on that.
Yeah. Nice. Beautiful. All right. Question number 8 here. I'm going to give you 3 names. It's going to be a tough one. I'm going to give you 3 names. Tony Hinchcliffe, Jeff Dunham, Matt Rife. Each of these guys approaches you and asks you to write for them. Pay is the same. It's $20,000 for 1 week of work, but you have to produce something. Which of those 3 do you pick and why? Alan, go first.
Oh, this is a fucking mind.
I know.
All right.
I thought you were going to say fuck, marry, kill them. And I was like,
actually, I could more easily answer that probably. That one's pretty easy. I would say I would go Hinchcliffe. I actually think because of I've done some roasts and written for those things that just purely out of the style that I could write for, I would choose that. He and I would have a real discussion about what he did to that Vietnamese opener of his first before I accepted the gig. But after that, I feel like I could write some decent roast material for him. So that's only because styles match up would I choose Tony Hinchcliffe.
All right, Maddie?
God, I was going to say Hinchcliffe as well, too, but I guess I'll just stick with the Matts here at this point and write for Matt Rife. And I think the fun is I do believe that he does do crowd work in a genuine situation. I think he's pretty good at spontaneity and those things. So the writing for him would actually be, I'd never heard a written joke out of his mouth ever before. So it would actually be kind of fun to give him some writing material and then have those things go off, because the crowd work is all I've ever seen, because I'm not watching any of these specials that we're talking about, these 3 people. So it'd be kind of fun to say hey, I wrote, and then I can catch some strays from his following at that point.
Yeah.
So.
Nardos?
I would do Jeff Dunham, and that's because I'd kind of give him completely new characters or puppets to be a ventriloquist for. And I think that would be fun.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Matt Rife. First of all, I don't think I'd be good writing for Jeff Dunham because of the different points of view, but you make a good point. I don't think I'd be creative enough to come up with another character for him. The Tony Hinchcliffe thing, I just don't gel with it. But the Matt Rife thing, I'm going to say the same reasons you would, Matt. I'd love to write some good jokes for that guy, and when he spits them out and they do well, have people in the audience go, "Holy shit, this is a good joke from Matt Rife."
Exactly right.
Exactly. This isn't just this is a different avenue for him. And then after a week, I'm gone. So anyway. But yeah, I same reasons as you, Maddie. I'd pick Matt Rife. Okay.
If Matt Rife starts doing whistling jokes in his next special, we'll all know.
Talking about his dad.
If somehow Matt Rife is dating a Janice, there's going to be something to talk about.
Or
and I'm driving around
going tanning, then I'll know that one of you two got in.
And I take my $20,000 and buy an old used Miata where only one of the headlights comes up. Yep, you see me driving around in that. You'll know that's what's happened. All right. What's next for everybody? This is kind of the proverbial where do you want to be in 5 years? As far as everybody's got their own personal stuff and their own careers going on. 5 years from now, what do you want to be doing with comedy? Alan?
I have no plan or goal, which I think is a great place to be. I just enjoy doing it still, and it's very side for me with family and with work. So I'm just happy that somebody gives me a mic and still wants me to do things from time to time, and that I get up there and still feel like I can, and I'm not losing it. So
yeah.
I have no delusions of grandeur or trying to make anything other than that out of it at this point. If I'm still sitting in the back of a room with you guys and side texting about what's going on stage, I'm very happy about that.
Yep. Nardos?
I mean, I think 10 years from now, hopefully I'll have retired, and I think it would be fun to maybe spend some time, like just even say on the West Coast, either doing stand up there and doing it for the love and at least having kind of given it a shot in a different scene, or also honestly just like auditioning for like comedic parts just from an acting perspective.
Yep. Maddie?
I'm kind of with Alan. I don't necessarily have a big plan or anything. I think we're in a bit of a boom here right now in terms of just opportunities and stages and things to get on. I think it's been amazing. Like, more places are doing shows. Some should and some shouldn't, but I'm really enjoying that. But in 5 years from now, I think I'd just like to, frankly, get a couple bigger comedy clubs like in the coasts, just to have been on those stages. Just to say that in 5 years, if I can do a Cellar or a Comedy Store or something of that nature, just by a referral or things of that nature, just to say that I was able to get on one of the stages that, is consistently associated with the best stages in comedy. That would be a goal I would like to say for 5 years.
I'm going to echo something Alan said. I feel very fortunate, and I'll tell you what I'd like to do in the next few years, but I feel very fortunate. It's 33 years I've done stand-up now, and I still love doing it. I still enjoy writing a new bit, getting excited to do a new bit. It's rare, not that it doesn't happen once in a great while, but it's rare that I pull up to a gig and think, oh, shit, It's most of the time I pull up and I'm still excited to do the show and generally have a good time doing the show. What I would love to do, and I think a lot of this is my age, 57 years old, I would be perfectly happy at this point if, like if I got a break, and something shot up at the stand-up, I'd be thrilled with that too. But I'd be perfectly happy if somebody came and said, you know what, you're a really good writer. I'd like you to maybe help with some scripts or do some essays and do some actual writing. I'm at a point in my life where I would be perfectly happy to make a really good living completely behind the scenes. I write something creative, somebody else goes and does it, and I just get to go to the mall and no one knows who the hell I am, and I'd be totally fine with that. So
you do love the mall, so that does help.
I do. I haven't been to the mall in ages, actually.
I
brought up the mall.
We're all veteran to comics here as well too, and it's just beautiful that we're still relevant, we're still around the scene, and continuous things like this. That's the beauty is that. Now that I mentioned this boom, but it's amazing when these venues come out and say, "Hey, can you guys put together a show?" Well, I have literal ringers here that I'm on this with, where I can be like, "Yeah, I can put together a show. It'll be great," and things of that nature.
Yeah, well, there's the simplicity of it. It's still a great kick to write a funny joke and have a room full of strangers think it's funny. It's still 100%. Enjoyable. So, all right. Last question here.
I watched that Brady roast and I was like, gosh, I wish I could have gotten some jokes on here with my background in like football and roasting. I would have like if I can just slide a couple things onto something like that, it'll make my life.
Yep, that'd be fun. Yep. All right. Last question. Favorite way to celebrate a win personally or professionally? Something great happens at work, there's some milestone in your family, something happens, you're like, I'm going to sit, even as simple as sitting on the back porch with a glass of whiskey. What is your favorite way to celebrate a win? Maddie, go ahead.
Oh, God. Probably like a dinner, like a steakhouse dinner with libations and things of that nature. Something that feels like a little Dean Martin could be playing in the background and kind of thing. Yeah. And you got to put on something with a collar, maybe a jacket to go out to. So it feels like a celebration where you're getting ready, you're going out, and you're toasting.
Yeah. Yep. Nardos?
I'd say something similar. Like I always think of like eating at like my favorite restaurant or grabbing drinks with friends. And honestly, if it's that win, I want to be with the people that support me the most so that we can talk about it a little bit. Because in general, you don't want to like boast and brag, but if you could be with the people that know how much that meant to you, it would be nice to have that reflection.
Nice. Alan?
So I'm a little different. I actually like to celebrate solo sometimes because my life can be chaos with day job, parenting, kids, social stuff all the time. Like my based on my day job, my phone is always going like bloop, 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 bloop with people wanting this and that. So when I get a moment to celebrate something, I also try to be very, very healthy in my diet. So my favorite thing is to get something really shitty, like that I wouldn't normally eat. So a pizza
travel
for
snacks.
myself. Yeah, pizza for myself, a soda, which I almost never drink, and a movie in my living room alone is actually like a really nice departure from everything for me.
Yep, I got to be with you. Now, for me, it can be a bunch of different things, but I'll say simply something just alone by myself. Just something, whether I go for a little motorcycle rides, maybe sit on the back deck with a couple beers, but just something, some quiet alone time is all I need. Just something quiet like that. So, all right, everybody, that's it.
Woo!
I think we're under time. I know Alan's got to get going. I want to thank everybody again. This is Tight 10 with Dave Dyer. This is our Let the Hate Out roundtable number 1. It was myself. It was Allen Trieu, Nardos Osterhart, Matt Lauria, Adam Degi for a couple minutes. We'll try to find out what happened to him and make sure that he's on board with what's supposed to happen next time. Kind of expected this. But thank you guys for watching, listening. Tuesday, Tight 10 with Dave Dyer. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you for having us, Dave.